BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, his annual letter, it is officially out this morning. I wrote my Dealbook column about it today, and in that letter, Fink writes, quote, shareholder capitalism is not about politics. It is not a social or ideological agenda. It is not woke. And I spoke to him, and I started by asking him what he means by all of this.
What I'm trying to say is, many people believe social values or environmental issues are political and woke. I don't believe that. And by the way, Andrew, we are connected with more and more asset owners than we've ever been before. I believe our voice, it resonates more and more with more asset owners, as evident of now, last week announced we have now over $10 trillion of client money. And it's about building deeper, broader connectivity with your stakeholders, and for that you're building that durable profitability. And it's about having a voice, though. I do write about that in this divergent world, your voice is being hijacked at times by the media, by the extreme elements of society today. But I believe more consistency in your voice, a louder voice, brings that connectivity to your stakeholders.
But at the same time in this letter, there was almost a defense of capitalism as well, where he writes the following. He says, make no mistake, the fair pursuit of profit is still what animates the markets, and long-term profitability is the measure by which markets will ultimately determine your company's success. So I asked him about whether some people who may be reading that sentence should interpret that as a bit of a walk back from previous claims that he's made.
There is no walk back. I've always said about a corporation and its purpose, and those companies who have a strong purpose are going to have more durable profitability. If you read in my 2019 letter, when I talked about corporate purpose, I talked about the same essence about long-term profitability is what animates the markets and moves forward. So this is a theme that I've been saying quite a bit. Now, other people may be misinterpreting it, but I'm repeating in that specific sentence, I'm repeating exactly what I said in 2019.
So one of the things that you have been very outspoken about and have singularly perhaps changed the conversation in boardrooms around the country and around the world is about the environment, and really pushing companies to focus more on the environment. But at the same time, you say in this letter this year, you say, we focus on sustainability not because we're environmentalists, but because we're capitalists and fiduciaries to our clients. And so, and maybe this is a chicken and the egg kind of thing here, but how much of this is your view that the environment really does matter, and how much of it is your view that the profits matter and you think it's going to come because people are focused on the environment?
I am just as much as focused on environmental issues as I've ever been. And I believe we need to be moving forward. And I'm really pleased to say that $4 trillion of money has moved into more sustainable strategies. And it's accelerating. I talked about in my 2020 letter about the tectonic shift that we are seeing. We are going to see it. And if anything, COVID and the way we live and work today has accelerated the investments towards sustainability. But that being said, I had a great deal of frustration in 2021 about the means in we were moving forward. I wrote over the last few years about to move forward in a more sustainable, decarbonized world. It requires a combination of government and private sector. And that's just not happening. We are not seeing the totality of society moving forward together. We need to be working with hydrocarbon companies, not against them. We need to be working with the communities that are involved in hydrocarbons, not against them. But we also need to be working with new startup companies to rapidly deploy and create new technologies so we can get to a decarbonized world by 2050. At the present pace, Andrew, we're not going to get there.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.